Hampton Roads traffic 4293 Juliet, taking off runway 28, headed towards the west. Hampton Roads traffic.
Thanks for joining. Like, subscribe, comment.
Trying to keep the center line. Looking for 60.
So this flight, and first, let me just get into this. One of the reasons that I post these flights is to get the perspective from a student's point of view. So I'm a low-time pilot. I guess you couldn't even call me a pilot because I'm still a student. So I'm learning to be a pilot. And during this flight right here, I have, this is my 12th flight, no, 11th flight, I'm sorry. This is my 11th flight. So I've seen YouTube, I've seen from the instructor's point of view, but I really have not seen anything from the student pilot's point of view. So that's all I wanted to do was bring that point of view and tell you what's kind of going through my mind, how I'm feeling while I'm doing these flights. So this particular flight, we're just in the pattern the whole time. The entire time. So I want to say we did 8 landings that day, which was a lot. That's the most landings at one time that I've ever done. So we did right traffic patterns, we did left traffic patterns, and we did 2 different runways, which were adjacent to each other. So 10 and 02 were the runways that we got to land on.
Alright, I like left turns. As I'll turn to the left.
So this video is a little bit shorter than all the rest of the videos because
am I going back towards the runway?
All we're doing is landings, you know.
Switching to runway 10.
And let me say, pattern day, it's pretty awesome, you know. You really get to hone in on getting into that slow flight,
I see the runway right there.
Adjusting your speeds for that landing, coming in, pulling out power. I mean, you really work on trying to perfect those things, you know, making your calls. My calls got a little bit better. They're not as good as I would like them to be, but that's gonna come over time. There were a few times where I announced that we were on base, but we were actually on downwind. And there were some times where I fumbled up and I put that, I didn't say who we were. I didn't identify who we were. But, you know, those things will come. I'm going to clean them up. It's a lot going on when you're in that plane. I mean, and you don't have a lot of time to get from point A to point B before you got to do something else.
No one's here. We can do
so
like
it's pretty interesting.
Like a mile out, but no one's here.
Now, in the last video, I did say I was asked this question: do we ever go straight in? And he answered my question. That answer is yes. We don't have to stay in the pattern, or we don't have to do a pattern. We can land straight in. I guess they like to do pattern work for teaching purposes. I can understand the need for the pattern, and I can also understand you coming in for a straight in if you have it. So I think both of them are pretty good. Just depends on what situation you're in.
Yeah, I say about 80, but 75 works. If that's what you're used to, then yeah, 75.
Oh, no.
So now this instructor,
80 now.
compared to the previous instructor, they take 2 very different approaches to landing.
Going at that last batch.
Very different approaches to landing. So with the previous instructor, we come in a lot slower. By the book, slow. I mean, this instructor, we're coming in a little bit hot. We're coming in a lot hot, actually, which I don't mind at all.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, there you go.
And the way that this plane just kind of sits down, you at that last minute, you stall, and it just sits on the ground. I mean, it's simple to me, you know, this method. Trying to keep that slow speed all the way down is a little more difficult. I like actually coming in like this It reminds me of when I was flying RC
Get ready
airplanes.
to climb. We are climbing.
After road traffic, Cherokee 38 Victor taxiing from the fuel pumps to the approach at runway 10 for run-ups. Hampton Roads.
This is right traffic, right?
Yeah. Headroads traffic 93
So
Juliet,
right traffic
down on runway 10, Hampton Roads.
in a low wing airplane, to me, is very difficult because we're turning, we're on the upwind, right? So we took off, we're on upwind, and then we're turning. I cannot see the airport
Down here a little bit faster.
off of that wing,
I see
off the right wing
taxi
at all.
right there.
So I just know that I have to make this 30-degree turn, and I know
Do we need to take this a
what
little bit
direction I
longer
was
now?
heading. So I'm just like, okay, cool, 90 degrees away from that.
Okay.
Hopefully I'm hitting my 1,000 feet by then, and now I'm turning to downwind because visibility, it just wasn't there as far as seeing that runway because the wing is in the way. Don't have that problem at all in left traffic. If you know any techniques to get around that, let me know. Please leave that in the comments.
Hampton Roads traffic 429.
I know a lot of people learned and trained on a Cessna, and I don't think that you would have that problem as the wing is above you and you have a clear path to seeing below you. But in this Cherokee Piper 140, yeah, it's a problem.
Green light, like now I see two reds. Okay.
Yeah, 2 white, 2 red's the ideal. I normally would come in 3 white, 1 red, but it's just, yeah, however you like doing it.
And you see, there's the difference between the two different instructors. You know, that other instructor, he's looking for those 2 reds pretty much all the way down. This instructor's a lot more relaxed. He's like, you know, you'll get down. However you get there, we got plenty of runway. This particular runway, it's about 5,300 feet. So for this airplane, we have plenty of time. Now, would that be the greatest habit if I'm flying something a lot faster? Probably not. I can come in at the slower speeds. I just don't like the sight picture, and I don't like how slow it is. I've noticed that when we start getting towards 1,000 feet, most of the time that I've been flying, it's been extremely gusty the lower that I've gotten. And having that extra speed is just comforting to me versus coming in at the slower speeds. Could be my inexperience, I don't know.
That's the thing. Not being able, I can't see the runway.
Yeah.
Right here. I'm just going.
Yeah, you really gotta turn, yeah.
Yeah.
And the rectangular pattern, you know, when you're doing a rectangular maneuver for your ground reference, that really helped me to solidify, make sure I'm turning those 30 degrees when I'm in the pattern, making those nice rectangular shapes. So that's what helped me in this instance because, again, I could not see the runway, but I do know I needed to make this 90-degree turn at 30 degrees until I hit that 90 degrees. And I'm still climbing at the same time to get to 1,000 feet.
Lose some of this altitude here.
But doing it over and over and over again, it just takes the nerves out. So you become more and more comfortable with each landing.
10.
Oh, sorry for 10.
And there you heard it. Mess up the call. I am not good with calls. I just need to slow down in my head a little bit more.
Practice day, a little crosswindy. Yes, it is. Good to get those reps in.
But I'm not mad at the fact that there was a lot of crosswinds going on and that it was a little gusty out there. I think it was great practice versus doing it on a calm day. Sure, doing it on a calm day, those landings probably would have been a lot easier. I'd have probably landed a lot smoother. But being able to fight the wind, you know, this is real life scenarios. You know, I may not be able to fly on a calm day every day. If I'm going from one airport to the next airport, I may take off and it's calm, but I might land somewhere that's not calm. So being able to get this experience right now, I think it's just golden. See, I did it out of order. Those call signs, they get me every time.
We're still on the down one. We'll be turning base next, but you're good. Nice.
And I believe I cut it out, so there was another person that made a call right after that saying that they were on final, and we had called base, so he did make another call to make a correction. That's another thing that I need to start doing, is if I'm wrong, I need to call back and correct it.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was my best landing. And I was able to hold that center line the whole time and take off on the center line. I was actually really proud of myself for this one because I was fighting to stay on that center line.
I think all the landings have been good, but the last like two, I think we've been like decently over the runway, and then you start pulling that tower out. Yeah. Once we're like right in front of it, we definitely haven't made stuff like that one. You pulled it out, that was like perfect, right on the money.
So if I'm climbing too fast, right? Because if I put full throttle in, because we got this extra performance, how do I stop that? Do I just not go full throttle?
No, you keep full throttle and just bring that nose up.
Oh, so
because yeah, we're sitting about 110 right now. So it just came. You're bringing it. You wanna hold on this takeoff at that 85 still. So you wanna hold it about there, and we'll just shoot up. We'll just climb really fast.
Oh, okay.
So the density altitude was in the 30s, 30.3 something.
Yeah, I didn't want to get into any power.
We had great performance,
No, it's not.
and man, it was taking off like a rocket ship. But yes, I was a lot fast in that climb out. Normally, I'm about 8 degrees when I'm climbing. We went up past 10 degrees, and I was like, this feels like we're about to do a power on stall. So, you know, I know that, okay, I can pitch up to slow down, but I didn't want to pitch that high because I'm like, well, that can put us in a stall condition, like a power on stall. And I didn't want to do that. He was like, no, with the performance that we have here, I'm good to go. So, you know, it was a good learning lesson. We did have great performance. We were in no danger of stalling. I pitched up and we slowed right on down, and we were climbing like crazy. I don't think I've ever climbed that fast in that airplane. Which just shows the importance of the weather and your density altitude. Like all the stuff that I learned in the book is now coming to fruition. I'm actually seeing it happen live in front of my face and experiencing it. You know, you can get all the bookwork you want, but until you actually experience it and then you're able to put 1 and 2 together, it's just theory. So understanding that, okay, I got this better density altitude, I'm gonna have much better performance in the cooler weather. It's right there, and it actually happened. I mean, we were climbing, before I knew it, we were at 1,000 feet.
We just kind of got a gust on that one.
Yeah.
Now, I never feel those gusts. Like when they come in, and it's happened several times, we would get lifted off. We're right about to touch down, and a gust of wind comes in, and it lifts the airplane up. I never feel it. You'll see later on, he's like, more power, and right when we get a gust, I don't feel the gust for whatever reason. He does. I guess I have to, you know, develop a sort of sensitivity to it, because my mind is on this touchdown, pulling back and touching down and following those steps. So I guess I need to be in that pattern a little bit more to really develop that. Touch your power, right?
Yeah, if we get real high like that, add some power back. It's got a little gusty. We'll switch over to runway 02. We'll just get the wind coming right down.
So we switch runways.
We'll just take the crosswind.
02 at this airport. It's a really old runway. It's about 3,000 feet.
If you get like
some change.
Stuff, it's fine. You can just hold it, but if you get real blown up,
probably one of the scariest runways that I've been to so far. And the markings, you really can't see them at all. You'll see.
Right here, bring the power out?
Yeah. And you had that flap. Heavy roads traffic, 93 Juliet, doing a long right base runway 02, Hampton Roads. Yeah, that's kind of your side pictures. Get us over that tree.
Yep. That's what I'm looking at.
And when he talks about getting us over that tree is like literally right before the airport. Like you see that tree, and it's obstructing the view of the runway. It's right in the center of the runway. So once you clear that tree, it's kind of like snatch power and drop. And you're right there. You're right over the airport.
This looks good.
Is that tree?
Nice.
There's the airport. And you see that old runway with hardly any visible markings? Yeah, it's something else. Most people don't use this runway, but it's good practice for instances just like this, right? It's a shorter runway. We were still doing takeoffs. I didn't really need to pull out flaps. Keep the flaps in, push that throttle immediately, and take off. Kind of like a short field takeoff. But I'll get some practice on short field takeoffs. So this wasn't technically a short field takeoff, but you kind of come in quite far into that runway before you touch down. Now, this takes us right across runway 10.
No one's here. We'll figure it out. Yeah, make sure not to keep climbing, and then it'll just be Hampton Roads, 4293 Juliet, left downwind for runway 02, Hampton Roads.
So right where we're turning,
technically we'd go like below them. If anyone was there.
Yeah, we would have to go below or be above them, because right where we're turning onto our downwind for that runway, it's like, man, runway 10 is right there. So there can be some issues if other people are coming into 10. I'm gonna have to get more clarification on that.
After road traffic.
Add a little bit of power,
Technum 228 Bravo Mike.
Because we gotta land
from the parking area.
And this one, we go way far on this landing.
Empty roads.
But this airplane is able to do it. It doesn't need much distance to land and stop. So we kill power. I wasn't fast enough.
We can just call it there. There's no point in taxiing back just to do one more. I'll let you take control. Yeah.
This is a different runway. I'm not a big fan of it, but I do want to become proficient at that runway.
We probably would have been fine, but
so whatever obstacles there are, I want to be able to overcome those obstacles. So smaller runways, narrower runways, shorter runways, I want to be able to accomplish them. And be proficient at it, you know. But that'll come over time. That'll come over time. My next flight is going to be more pattern work, a few more maneuvers. We're going to get these patterns together because after that, I'll have a check ride. And then after that check ride, we're going to be looking to do some solo. So my first solo should be coming up pretty soon. I'm excited.
Next time do maneuvers, then we may do a day. If next time is really calm, we may do another pattern day just to get you just crushing easy landings.
Okay.
If it's there, we'll do maneuvers and then maybe do one final landing day and then get you signed off.
Oh.
Just because today is great, but it's definitely kind of a challenging day.
It was.
Yeah.
All right, we're coming up to this hold short. By 2810.
Yeah.